Okay, now that's more like it. 48-10. The Vikings diced and destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals, and they lived up to the Bengals term today for sure. Boy, where do we start on this one? This was an absolute blast of a game. I don't think I've ever had whiplash like that from one home game to the next. Because somehow we lost last Sunday in just horrible, ugly fashion to an Atlanta team that got beat 30-0 in Carolina today. We should be 3-0, goddammit, but we're 2-1, and we are in first place, tied, because the Green Bay Packers, the 85 Bears that the entire goddamn media has proclaimed them as after 2 games, they lost to the fucking Browns, 13-10. That's fantastic. But as far as the Vikings game, I mean, going in, the top talker is the quarterback, Carson Wentz. What are we going to get out of him? He's only been here a month, and obviously his recent track record in the NFL is not very impressive. I think whether you're on the Wentz side of things, like hoping Wentz just balls out, or hoping that he's bad, so you get McCarthy back in there, I don't think either side's going to be too moved off their position. I thought Wentz was fine. He was pretty solid. He did about what you want. He provided some stability. He was 14-20, 170 something, a couple touchdowns. Took a couple sacks that he shouldn't have taken, but he was getting the ball out pretty quick. I don't have a problem. I don't really have any problem with how Wentz played in this game. But I don't think he was like so overwhelmingly good that that you can't even have the talker about McCarthy. But we don't win this game 48-10 with J.J. McCarthy out there the way he's been playing. I'm sorry, we just don't. It was such a relief. First offensive drive. They get a couple penalties on Cincy in there to help us out, but Wentz is out there. He's making a couple quick throws. They get the touchdown to Oliver, and it's just like boom. It's like a weight lifted off. Like, okay, maybe we can have some competent quarterback play today, and maybe regardless of what happens with the quarterback going forward, at least maybe we can have some stability. I'm hoping he's going to play probably the next 2 games, the 2 Europe games. If he plays like that, plays nice and competent ball, and we're getting Addison back next week, that's going to help to make the offense more potent. I think we're going to be 4-1 into the bye. Obviously, the star of the game, Isaiah Rodgers, pick 6, and a fumble return touchdown, and another forced fumble. He'll be your defensive player of the week for sure. Huge, massive impact game from him, and he also made the game was still somewhat competitive and in doubt, he made a real nice play in the end zone on one of the rare Bengals scoring opportunities. He made a real nice play in the end zone to bat a ball away. Would have probably been a Bengals touchdown. I think that would have made it like 17-7. Would have made it a little competitive. There was a little moment there late in the first half where it was looking like, oh boy, are we gonna start blowing it? But then we got that fumble return, and that was it. I mean, there was no looking back after that. We didn't let up. Be-Flow, bringing the heat the whole game. I don't know how many sacks we ended up getting. We got a few. It got a little lighter, second half. I'm assuming, it's hard to tell, in every play. I assume we had a lot of backups in there. Certainly by the fourth quarter, they did get a touchdown. And I was really hoping we get the 50-burger, man. We had 48 points through 3 quarters. I was really hoping we get a 50-burger. We ended up putting Brosmer out there for a lot of the fourth quarter. We didn't really try. I was hoping at the very, very end there, they had like a 4th down. I thought they were going to just send Reichert out there to boom another long field goal to get the 50-burger. We haven't had a 50-point game since 98. And those are pretty rare, but I mean, it would have been nice to get the 50. But that was not meant to be. Maybe another game. But yeah, defense. I mean, this is obviously you win a game 48-10. It's the blueprint of how you want your team to play. I mean, but this was just like everything really coming together really well, except for penalties. We did have a lot of penalties in this game. I think we had 13 penalties. A lot of them just like false starts and really sloppy stuff. I think we were off. They went for like a 4th down at one point. We were offsides on the 4th down. So, you know, just some annoying penalties here and there. There was one call on Okuda for like a late hit, or a dirty hit, which was just a terrible call. But yeah, great performance by the D-line. I think Dallas Turner had probably one of his best games so far as a pro. Everyone was kind of getting in there. They were rushed. They were getting after Jake Browning all game. And I'm not going to apologize because we beat Jake Browning, because this fucking guy beat us 2 years ago in Cincinnati in a game where we were playing for our playoff lives. We had a big lead on him, and Browning came back and beat us. So I'm not going to apologize for like, oh no, we only beat Jake Browning. No, he's an all right quarterback. We got after his ass, and we really hounded him, which is what you're supposed to do, which is what we haven't done so many times over the years to back up quarterbacks. We haven't rattled them. We haven't taken it to them. So I will make no apologies that we beat Jake Browning instead of Joe Burrow. We would have won this game playing Joe Burrow too. We were going to win this game regardless. So yeah, Wentz good. Running game really good. Boy, was it! Especially late, they were just gashing them with runs. Jordan Mason, 100 yards, 100-yard game, a couple touchdowns. Xavier Scott got in there for a few carries. Just a terrific game. We had Darisaw back for the first time this season. Again, we gave up a couple sacks, but I think for the most part, a couple of those were really like Wentz probably, kind of brought a couple of those on himself. I think the offensive line, aside from the penalties, played a really good game. But yeah, Darisaw was back in there. I know they took him. I guess they took him out a couple times, kind of almost like load management, because it's his first game back. But these things you could do when you're up. It was 34-3 at the half. Because that whole thing swung at the end of the half so much. It was 17-3, and they were driving, and they were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. I'm like, well, we've kind of bogged down a little on offense, and then is something bad going to happen? But then we get the fumble, and then another fumble. I think they turned the ball over like 3 times in 4 plays or something like that at one point. So, defense. I love the ball hawking. Like, even the fumble that was returned for the touchdown, like that was a completed pass, and whoever was running, kind of open field, and we go out there and punch it out. Like, that's what you got to do, man. I love the ball hawking. They're really trying to go for the turnovers. Never really let up. On pressuring Browning. Like, right from the start, you could tell they were really getting a lot more pressure than anything they got last week. I don't know what happened last week. Frankly, I don't know what happened in the first game either. Other than, just having a little QB stability. But then, my guy Kirk got it in the game. I know at the end there today for Atlanta. Like I don't know how that happens. How do you lose a game so in such ugly fashion 7 days ago, and then to a team that can get beat 30-0 by Carolina? It's just mind-boggling. It's just one of those things. But yeah, run game was really good. Hawkinson got involved in the pass game pretty good today. He got a touchdown. I don't think he scored a touchdown last year until the playoff game, and he did a gritty. And Jefferson had a couple big catches, and Naylor had 1 or 2. Got everyone involved, and of course, and again, we're getting Addison back next week. That should make the passing game even better. We didn't miss Aaron Jones. We like Aaron Jones, but Jordan Mason, it was obvious from the start of the season that Jordan Mason was the better running back, and I think he proved that today. So going forward, he'll be the guy. But obviously, when Jones is back, I'm sure he'll obviously get in the mix. But yeah, terrific game. Will Reichert set a Vikings record 62-yard field goal. Like as if that first half hadn't been wonderful enough, then to end the half he hits one from 62, breaking the record from Greg Joseph from the game winner against the Giants a few years ago. Like, it's just everything was coming up Vikings today. Everything came up purple. This is the kind of day you dream about. You just want where everything kind of goes right, except for the penalties. But the penalties didn't end up hurting it. You won 48-10, so that's the thing for coaches. KOC can work on that. So it's kind of the dream for a coach. You win by 38 points, but you had stuff that you can clean up. So yeah, I think. And again, we're tied for first now. We're tied for first with the Packers, who couldn't beat the lowly Cleveland Browns. So hey, we've had a couple bumps early part of the season, but here we go. we're 2-1. We should be 4-1. I would hope. It's not a guarantee. I think because it's Pittsburgh next week. I forget which city for which game. But next week's Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh did win today against the Patriots, and then it's Cleveland. So obviously, Cleveland can beat the Packers. Maybe they could beat us, but I think we'll be okay. I think solid QB play from Wentz. I think we would hope he'll get a little more acclimated to everything. I think we're a better team than Pittsburgh or Cleveland. So I think we can be 4-1. The bye, and then we'll see what happens. But I certainly don't think Wentz's play today shut the door on the possibility that, well, maybe we'll give it back to McCarthy, in a few weeks. But I do think, he met expectations. I don't think he exceeded them, but he met them. Obviously, not much was asked of him at a point because, first drive, get the touchdown, and then you get the pick six, and they were basically up double digits the whole game. So there's a little less being asked of Wentz. If we get in a tight spot against Pittsburgh, is he, if it's a tie game late, is he going to be able to lead a drive to win a game, that sort of thing. We'll see, but I think he met expectations. I don't think that anyone should have too much of a problem with how he played today, other than taking a couple sacks, and he missed a couple throws. There was one kind of down near the goal line. I think it was Naylor. He kind of threw behind him, missed a touchdown. There were a couple other throws he missed, but you're not gonna hit every throw at you, no matter who you are. So, but I think it was a solid game from Wentz. Great performance by the run game. Great performance, obviously superb performance by the defense. This is everything you want from this defense. And again, I'm not apologizing because it was Jake Browning, because he can put up points. They still got Jamar Chase. They still got Higgins. They still got weapons, and they didn't do anything. I almost felt bad for. There were a lot of Bengals fans at the stadium. I don't know if they all just planned to come before Burrow got hurt, but I kind of felt almost bad for him at a point, because he probably spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars to travel to a game, and you see your team get clobbered 48-10. But so yeah, I think this was a great day to be a Vikings fan, and I'm hoping that there are more great days ahead. I expect Wentz to be even better, a little crisper. He didn't make the big turnover. He did take a couple sacks, but he didn't make any big turnovers. None of that stuff. Obviously, the Bengals don't have a great defense. We know that, but you got to beat who's in front of you. And I think Wentz was what we needed. And I think if he's this for the next two games, we're going to be 4-1, and we'll see. I think if he plays basically the same game the next 2 weeks, they probably will go back to McCarthy. Although you see that schedule, Oh, I've been sick all week. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I think if Wentz is like this the next 2 games, I think they're going to be 4-1. I don't memorize the schedules of the other teams in the division. I know Detroit's got Baltimore tomorrow night, and I would expect Baltimore to win that game, hopefully. But we're back in this. I mean, it was looking pretty bleak there after the Sunday night game, and how things were going. Laundry list of injuries we got, but this week we get Darisaw back. We got Harrison Smith out there finally. I think he made the tip on that pick 6, kind of tipped the ball. We got Gink back, and Gink got a sack and made some plays. And I think we didn't really have too much in the way of new injuries this week. I would hope that it's over for a while for that. But yeah, I love the performance today, top to bottom. I don't think there's anything I forgot. I'm almost home, so I should wrap it up anyway. But yeah, 48-10, Vikings clobber the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe I saw at one point that it was the biggest deficit the Bengals have ever had in a game, and the Bengals have been around since the 60s, so that's pretty impressive. We didn't get the 50 burger. I'm disappointed we didn't get the 50 burger. Why didn't you just send Reichert out for the field goal at the end to kick it? The 50 burger. But so that'll wrap it up. 48-10, Vikings win. They're 2-1. Everything's good now. Everything was bad 7 days ago. Everything's good now, and we're hoping for this to be kind of a springboard to the season that we were all hoping. And so that's all I got to say. Last day of summer. Nice way to go out, and looks like we got an exciting fall ahead of us.